Hello. In this video, we're going to go through the 6.2.4 extra help. And we're going to go through one of each. So on this first page, I just have a set of points and then a mapping diagram. And then on the back, we have two other representations. So for domain and range, domain is always our x values and range is our y values. So from a set of points to find the domain, I'm just looking at all the x's. So I'm going to go ahead and underline all the x's. And then our goal is to put those in order with no repeats. So the smallest of these is -2, and it happens twice, but I'm only going to write it once. And then I like to cross them both off pretty lightly so I can still read through it to determine if we have a function or not. My next smallest is -1, then 0, then 3, then 7. Now I want to do the same for the range, so all the ones I have left in order, no repeats. My smallest is -2, 1, 4s, and 5. Now, if it's a function or not, I think the birthdays analogy is the best way to kind of remember that, but I'm looking for one X, one person who has more than one birthday, more than one Y. So first I need to see if any of the X is repeated. The only X that repeated is -2. If it has the same Y, we're fine, but since they have different Ys, we are not fine, so it is not a function, and it asks us to explain. So we're going to say the X value -2 has two different Y values. You can also say things about birthdays in your explanation. I don't really care. So if you say like -2 has two birthdays, I understand what you mean. So this is a set of points. A mapping diagram, the X's or the domain are always on the left and Y's on the right. And they should be in order and they should not repeat. So it should be pretty easy to just kind of copy this down. Same for the range. And if it's a function or not, we're looking for one X to have two birthdays. So you're going to see it like branch off. None of these have more than one arrow going anywhere. So this is a function. And it's okay that 3 and 4 both go to 8. It just means that they both have the same birthday, which is fine. So we're going to say yes, no X has two Y values. So now we have a set of points. We have a mapping diagram. Let's look at the last two. A table pretty much works the same way as points because a table is just a set of points. -4, 1, -2, 0. For the domain, those usually are in order already. Those are our X's. Just make sure you don't repeat them. And Y's are usually not in order, and there's typically some repeats. So our smallest one is 0, then 1, don't write it twice, then 4, then 9. If it's a function, we're looking for one person to have two birthdays, and that can only happen in a table if there's more than one row with the same X. Since none of our X's repeat, it is a function, and you can say each X has its own Y, or every person has their own birthday. And last one, for domain and range, you can write down the coordinate points for each of these and then do it the same way that we did just a list of points. Or you can read the domain and the range left to right and then bottom to top, and you'll have them in order. So this is what I mean. For domain is our X values, and I want to start on the very left, the smallest X's. And wherever I have a dot, I'm going to kind of like trace back up. So I have a -5. -3, -1, 1, and 3. So if you go left to right, your x's will always be in order. Now for the range, I'm going to go bottom to top. So on the very bottom, we have -3, -1, 1, 3, and 5. Now for a graph, it's always pretty easy to tell if it's a function or not. We can use something called the vertical line test. If you can draw a vertical line that touches more than one dot, then it is not a function. But if you see all of our dots, if I drew vertical lines over them, I would never touch more than one dot. So this is a function. And you can say this explanation, you can say the birthday explanation, or you can say it passes the vertical line test. So those are all of our representations and how to find domain and range. I hope that helped.